What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you a quick overview of some of the data points, some of the latest updates, and of course, when I've talked on Lucid, one of the main reasons why I've really invested in Lucid in the past is because of its expansion. So I just want to go over some of the latest data in that regard. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. And based on Friday, it did go up 5.23%. And I don't know why, just it sits so much better when it does outperform Tesla. So Tesla did go down 0.76 versus Lucid 5.23, like I said. And over and above that, though, it did actually have a lot of good momentum. It did have a high of $7.73, which based on some of the technicals is kind of breaking out. So looking on the fib levels right now, with it being at 745, it is currently between this R1 and the R2, which in comparison to a lot of other growth stocks is doing surprisingly well. So the next big support and resistance points that you need to watch for going into next week is $7.17 being the support and $7.57 being the resistance. So of course, based on Friday, it kind of did break both, but in general, I do feel that there's a lot of positive momentum behind the scenes to really justify it to go higher, especially as well if you look at stochastic. There is no defined trend right now, but the number of retail investors getting in is completely insane. As well, looking here, just the number of transactions that did occur on the secondary market is just through the roof. So big money, I think more so at the beginning of the week, was taking a step back, kind of taking things cool. But it looks like based on this, they flicked the switch and they are starting to buy. So these are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market over $100,000. So there's a couple big ones. So 1.3 million. There's also 12.9, 1.02, 1.13 million. Majority of these are buys, and you can tell that based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price. So a lot of big buying happening behind the scenes. And as well, if you're looking at options, based on Friday at least, there was $8.73 million in calls being purchased versus 1.34 million in puts. So the majority of which is very much optimistic, bullish, and anticipating it to continue to trend up. And if you're one of those individuals that likes to look at options, based on this shows all the expiry dates, strike prices. It is anticipated to potentially be between 750 and 8 by most likely next week. So of course, when it comes down to options activity, it's just more of a sentiment. It doesn't necessarily move the stock price. As well, I am not a financial advisor, so you guys always do your own due diligence. But I will give you guys a quick overview of what shorts did and various other things. But at the time of doing this video, there surprisingly wasn't any new press releases, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. So it is actually just FOMO kicking off from, in my opinion, Rivian and some other EVs and just the broader market. So of course, that's a pretty good thing. But like I mentioned as well, one very good reason why I did get into Lucid is because of A, their technology, and B, their expansion plans. So when it comes down to their expansion plans, they are hitting every area where it counts, where there's a huge amount of demand. And so based on this, so this is as of June 2023. So the latest, it just came out, looks like July the 7th. But this goes over all the stats on a global scale. So it says right here, global electric car sales for May 2023 were up 50% year over year. And China, which of course we already do now know that Lucid is at least heading in that direction. And based on a couple of my previous videos, I do feel that it's more so under the PIF umbrella that's going to be kind of working with that. But even in China, it is up 54%. That is just insane. Europe up 38%. So in general, I think there's a lot of demand moving forward. And as I've shown you in the past, that chart, a lot of vehicles, more so in the States, are fairly old. So of course, over the next couple of years, there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of new buyers for these vehicles. And so especially by Lucid unveiling the Gravity, most likely in the next month, ideally. But that is where a lot of those people will be integrating into a Gravity. So Lucid is just very much primed and ready. And I do feel that a lot of people are starting to realize that. And as well, based on a lot of the things that have been coming out. So this is some of the latest updates. So it does look like Lucid Motors is going to be in Boston. So that's the next Dream Ahead tour. And that's from the, looks like the 8th and the 9th. And then over and above that, it looks like they are starting to have more and more deliveries in Saudi Arabia. So of course, course, this is what they did say was going to happen. So the Q2 earnings, I don't know exactly how the numbers might look. Earnings per share might be a little bit lower than expected, but I think generally speaking, I think what might be better than anything is them following through with their plan, because in the past they've had a lot of kind of expectations that don't really follow through. But so far they said in Q2 this is where the bulk of their actual international deliveries are going to occur, and they are doing it. So in reality, I think that's a pretty positive sign. And then on a side note, I don't know if this is a good reason to buy or just to know it, but Love is in the Villa, or Love in the Villa, this movie, I think I did watch this, but this actor right here looks like he bought a Lucid. So of course that's a pretty good thing. I remember actually early 2022 there used to be tons of pictures on Twitter about I'm really bad with names, to be honest. I don't know, the Pirates of the Caribbean guy, I think he bought a Lucid. There's several others, but there used to be a lot more of these kind of posts. So I think in general that would be a good transition point to see a lot more celebrities buying Lucids, which might very much help their marketing, because as of right now, especially what they said from their Q1 earnings, majority of their marketing is just word of mouth and also test drives, which they did say was record based on the last quarter, so in Q1. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do in Q2 as far as numbers. But I'll give you guys a quick overview. Like I said, cycle back to shorts. So right now, short score is ding ding ding, looks like 75. Utilization is 71.06%. Based on Friday, shorts did increase 6.48 million shares. So they are very, very doubtful about obviously this rally that did happen. And of course, when it comes down to Lucid, they did successfully get over this 50-day moving average. And like I've said in the past, that usually is a very good indicator that big things are going to be coming. But as of right now, 20.09% of the free float's being shorted, 164.32 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost to borrow average is 1.21%. So let me know you guys' thoughts on Lucid. Do you think that we are potentially going back over here? Do you think we're going to break below into maybe the low sevens, or do you think we are going to see the eights potentially? So what's your take on all of that? And give yourself a shout out on a side note if you have been taking advantage of these discounted prices, or have you been selling? What have you been doing? Give yourself a shout out in the comments below. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend thus far. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And one final thing, take advantage of some free promos. Even though Lucid is going up, down, sideways, all over the place, take advantage of this promo. It's been extended up until July the 15th, I believe. Sign up for a free account, you get one free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Throw $100 at the account, you get 5 free stocks plus a $100 cash reward. So this legitimately is a free promo. Take advantage while you can. Link in the description below and also the comments. And with all that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.